Because we're not live yet.
Yeah. Good boy. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. This is your KCHW morning show. If you're trying to watch us on Facebook, you're not hearing this right now because I don't have us up and going yet. We will be up and going momentarily as I speak. But we are joined here today with myself, and we have the lovely Sharon Ludwig sitting next to me. Hopefully we'll get Paula back next week.
Yep.
But for now, it's just the two of us. And good morning, Sharon. How are you?
I am fine. It's been a nice little break.
Yeah.
I was telling you earlier, I slept in, didn't even hear the alarm.
You know, it happens. I hit my snooze button way too many times this morning.
Uh-huh.
It happens. It happens.
Yep.
It happens to the best of us, even you.
Yeah, even and still doesn't say live.
Because I'm still working on it. So
Okay.
So hopefully momentarily.
Okay.
There we go. I click the button. Once it processes, we'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. But right now, we are live on the air. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather. We are in store for some warm weather coming up. Today, we're looking at a high of 77 degrees with partly cloudy skies, 50 degrees overnight with those clouds continuing. Then sun comes out tomorrow. It's going to be a high of 83 degrees, 56 overnight. Then on Friday, a high of 86, 57 overnight. Saturday, things are going to start to warm up. We're going to hit 90 degrees for our high. I think this is the first official 90-degree day we've had.
I have heard it was coming.
Yeah. I think we've come really close so far. I don't know, maybe some areas in the sun we've hit 90, but I don't know if it's been 90 on the calendar yet. Then we have a low of 57 degrees. But wait, there's more. On Sunday, 94 degrees for our high with a 61-degree low. Of course, it's going to be sunny. Then Monday of next week, 96 degrees.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's climbing and climbing. 61 overnight. Summertime is definitely, if it's not here yet, it's definitely coming. I don't think it's officially summer yet to, what is it, the 21st?
Yeah, because it's right around my birthday.
Yeah, it's right at that summer solstice.
Yeah.
Which is also the longest day of the year.
Yeah.
Coming up soon. It seems too soon in the year for that.
Oh, yeah. It's still February,
Right? In our minds.
Yeah.
But then things are starting to drop back down the other way on Tuesday with a high of 92 and 57 overnight with mostly sunny skies. That sun sticking around on Wednesday, but down to 87 degrees for the high with 53 overnight. Then by Thursday of next week, it looks like we're going to get back down in the 70s for our highs for a little while, a little more normal seasonal temperatures there.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
yeah,
Nice.
it's that 90s. I'm not ready for that.
I'm still not live.
Uh-oh. We should be. Let me see here. Let me check that out here.
Maybe I have to redo something.
Yep, we are streaming. Oh, you know what we don't have though? There we go. I didn't have us on our camera feed. So y'all out there listening, especially if you just joined us on Facebook, our camera should be popping up just about 3, 2, 1. There we go.
And then it said live.
There's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a look and see who we have on this Chewelah Valley Lions Club calendar. Okay. Oh, if I can see, we only have one name on there. Oh, no, we have a bunch of names on there today. Okay. So we have Barry Thomason, Colton Colton, it looks like Lily, and then George Drysis with birthdays. And then Karen and Charlie Elliott have an anniversary. And Clint and Julie, and I was told the other day by somebody that knows the family, I've been pronouncing this wrong. There's a bunch of this last name on the calendar. It's Clint and Julie Henches.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I've always said Hentages, so sorry.
Oh, no.
Apologies to the Henches family. I've been pronouncing your name wrong for 2 years now. There are a bunch of it, and your name's all over this calendar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So happy birthday and anniversary, everybody. I hope you guys have a great one. It's a good day. It's a beautiful day today. We haven't quite hit that hot yet. So get out there, enjoy your day.
And as Paula would say, hot, hot, hot.
It's hot.
Yeah. I miss her.
I miss her too. And I don't know I'm having a little problem with my mic here, getting some volume. There we go. Imagine me not being loud enough.
Well, I don't know. The other day I was listening to you and Scott as I was driving somewhere, and I'm going, okay, I have to turn this up to hear Chuck, but Scott is nice and loud.
Well, Scott's always loud. That's just Scott. Yeah, I've got some other some toys here I keep. There's big knobs on this thing. I've got this preamp on this microphone, and I keep bumping it with my microphone or with my mouse.
So you have to get some tape and tape it.
Yeah, or some super glue. I'll just super glue it in place.
Ah.
All right, so Sharon, go ahead and tell us what the kids are eating for lunch right now.
Oh yeah. Okay. School. No, that's not
And
it.
And this is the last week of school for the Chula Valley School District,
No.
or for the Chula. No.
No.
Oh.
They go until the 13th, and this is
Oh,
only the 4th.
13th. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, sorry. I saw the last day of school. We were talking about that half day of school,
Yeah.
and I got
yeah.
it wrong.
So for breakfast, of course, they have the ordinary that they have had probably all year: rotating sandwiches, fruit parfait, varieties of cereal, cheese stick, muffins, cheese stick, yogurt, and fruit or juice and milk. And yesterday, I took my granddaughter to school early because she wanted to eat breakfast, and her brother wasn't going to get her there on time. So she called, "Grandma, can you give me a ride? I want to eat breakfast." So last night when I picked her up, or yesterday afternoon after school, I asked her, "What did you have?" And she said, "I had a parfait and I had a cheese stick and something else." And so we're looking at this list, and we've been questioning whether you could have something from one group and from another. And
Yeah.
she did.
Someone actually told me once that it's set up kind of like a continental breakfast style. You know,
Ah.
like they just kind of have everything out, and the kids
Yeah.
kind of choose from it. I'm hoping with our new Thursday morning co-host Gina Greenwood, we're hoping maybe when they're not quite so busy, we can get somebody from the nutrition program at the school on. Maybe after they get done for the year, and they have a moment to breathe and
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah.
I know. I was talking with the principal at the high school, trying to get somebody on the morning show, and he's like, "Whoa, right now?" He's like,
Oh,
"You know
yeah.
how busy we are." So
The end of school. Yeah.
and then we're gonna get some good stuff going for next year. We're gonna make sure we hit a bunch of the stuff going on with the schools, get people from different departments, and talk about what they're doing
Nice.
in the schools.
Nice. Yeah, I've tried to keep up with the sports, but it'd be nice to have a guests from the school. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, when the idea came from when we had Jason Perrins on the Wednesday morning show, his last appearance on the show, talking with him after the show, really wanting to get more kids involved with the radio and broadcasting.
Oh yeah.
And he, we were talking about the idea of what if Scott has been busy. He's been doing the morning show on Thursdays for many years. He's busy doing his thing in Maine and working on his cabins. And he's like, "Chuck, I really need to. Thursday's my busy day to get ready for the weekend. If you could start, shopping for a co-host and try to figure out a way to relieve me of the Thursday duty, that would be great." And talking with Jason and wanting to do some stuff with the schools. And then Gino came on as a guest talking about the Earth Day celebration, and just the two clicked. Who better to be
Yeah.
on with me to talk about kids
Yeah.
in the schools
Yeah.
and kids in Chihuahua and doing all kinds of fun stuff, and not just Chihuahua but the area. Then Gina Greenwood,
Yeah.
and what a perfect match. And
Yep.
I asked her, and she kind of looked at me and she said, "Chuck, it's about time you asked me."
Good for her.
So it
Good
worked.
for her.
It worked, and we've been having a lot of fun. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and for lunch today, they are having teriyaki chicken, rice, veggies, and fruit. And of course, milk is offered daily. When my kids were in school, and I don't know if it's still, they had to take milk. They couldn't not take milk and have juice unless they had some kind of an allergy or a doctor's okay that they couldn't have milk. Is that weird?
that seems really weird.
Yeah, and that was, of course, my kids are in their 40s, so that was a long time ago. But
Yeah.
still, it was just, because sometimes my kids wanted to have juice, they didn't want to have milk.
Right.
know,
Well,
yeah.
especially at a time when we know, I think a lot of us had lactose intolerance or problems
Oh,
digesting milk.
It's really prevalent in my family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And a lot of us growing up, we didn't know. We just thought,
Yeah.
oh, cereal's yummy, but it makes my tummy hurt. Maybe I
Yeah.
had too much,
Yeah, yeah.
And I grew up, I was an adult before I realized that's what was going on. I just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
I-
ours get infections.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's serious.
Yeah, Gino does. I nearly killed him a month ago. I was letting him eat a lot
Oh,
of
no.
cheese and all kinds of other stuff, and his infection level just went way up, and he had to go to the hospital and everything. And then
Wow.
then I'm going, "Oh, I've been letting you have dairy." And he goes, "No, you haven't. I've just been having cheese." Well, cheese is dairy. Where was our
Cheeto.
brain?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I never had the bad infection problems, but you just I won't go into too much detail, but clear the room.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. So, but looking ahead for these school lunches, gosh, they're having burgers and pizza, hot dogs. Chef's now the last week is a real fun to me. On Tuesday is Chef's Choice,
yeah,
and on Thursday is a surprise sack lunch.
surprise.
Surprise!
Chef's choice is whatever is left in the pantry, and then the surprise is whatever they didn't get the day before.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, funny. And of course, no lunch on the last day of school because they get out before lunchtime, and that's next Friday, the 13th.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you know the historically, if you go back far enough, Friday the 13th was good luck. So maybe
Oh,
maybe that'll be
okay.
good luck.
Yeah.
We'll call that a good luck day for the last day of school,
Yeah. Yeah.
and hope all the kids have a great summer. I've been torn for a long time about the half days, especially for the last day of school. I've always been like, why do the half day? But then you think about it's not a day you're actually going to be doing school. You're going to be clearing out your lockers. You're going to be saying goodbye to your friends. And
Right.
I do remember that time when you get out of school, it's early, and I remember it like in elementary school, it seemed like the buses were delayed leaving, so they gave the kids extra time to sort of, on the grass in the areas out front of where you
Oh,
get on the bus
yeah.
to say goodbye and kind of hang out for, an extra 45 minutes or so, and then say goodbye to your teachers and then get on the bus and go home.
Well, it's in Washington. I don't know about Alaska or anywhere else you had grade school, but there's a certain number of dates set by the state legislature.
Hmm.
You have to be in school. And to count it as a school day, you have to be a certain number of hours.
Right.
And so a 2 hour day counts. So, like if you had to
Oh,
send the kids home after 2 hours because of a snowstorm or something, that counts as a day. It doesn't have to be made up. Well, that's why the last day of school, it has to be at least 2 hours, and it counts as a day in school.
okay.
And so
Okay.
it counts as one of those 180 days that you have school. And what are you going to teach on the last day?
Nothing. You're gonna
All the books are turned in. The
it,
kids probably took their stuff home the day before,
yeah, true.
and what are you going to do? Have movies?
I remember we would play games and we
Oh,
would have
yeah.
fun and
Yeah.
just say goodbye to our, not
Yeah.
goodbye to your friends because you'll see them during the summer, but say goodbye to
Right.
your teachers and,
Yeah. Yeah.
some friends you don't see during the summer too much, but
Right. Right.
but it was always, I remember it was always a joyful day.
Yeah.
It was always a
Yeah.
fun day. And plus you don't have to go to school the next week. So that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And in my house, we'd get out of school, and my mom was a teacher, and the next week or so, we'd take off for South Dakota, and we spent the summers in South Dakota on my grandparents' farm.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. From the time I was about in the 5th grade on through the end of high school.
Well, I bet
So-
you that was nice and a fun experience, but also you didn't get to be around your friends during the summer.
No, so I didn't have swimming lessons, and I didn't because they lived out on a farm, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't go. And
You didn't swim in the stock tank?
no, didn't go to camps that some of the kids went to. Church camps or any kind of camps, and you'd hear them talking about those kind of things or their summer plans. And we were going to South Dakota,
Oh.
but we always had fun.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
I can remember I had aunts and uncles that always had farms, and this was
Uh-huh.
down in the Tri-Cities as a little kid. And my favorite cousin, she was the one cousin I had that was the same age as me, and we were pretty much inseparable during the summers. And we would get ourselves into into some situations, and I remember, if it was water, we were in it, and
Oh,
we would go
yeah.
swimming. And I can remember coming out covered in muck and green and
Ah.
and coming back to my aunt's house and them being, what on earth did you kids get into, and having to stand out in the yard and get hosed off by my,
With the cold water.
with the cold water.
Yeah.
But sometimes that was fun because where we always stood to get hosed off was on the trampoline
Oh,
because
yeah.
it would filter through, and then we weren't standing in the mud. So
Ah.
yeah, so we'd get hosed off while we were jumping on the trampoline.
Yeah, I had 3 cousins who lived with my grandparents because both their parents had passed away, and they were the same age as my sister and I, or around in the same age. So yeah, we did some trouble too. But I learned to drive a tractor, at 11, 12, and
Oh, yeah.
and drive the car because they'd let us drive to the end of the driveway to get the mail, which
Oh, yeah.
was a quarter mile, long driveway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so there were a lot of fun things that my friends back home, they didn't learn those kind of things.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you know.
I remember my grandparents, we'd spend time there, and they had a irrigation ditch running through their property. So,
Uh-huh.
of course, again, water, all
Water.
the kids, man,
Oh,
playing
yeah.
in that kind of gross,
Yeah,
filthy irrigation ditch.
yeah, yeah.
Couldn't keep us
Yeah.
out.
So, anyway,
Good times. Good times.
yeah,
All right, you want to get into some local events here?
sure.
All right.
Sure.
I know you come bringing the heat. You've been out for a couple of weeks, and you've probably got everything ready.
No, I didn't. I didn't get it ready till last night like ordinary. And I may have missed some things because I haven't been watching for upcoming events in the newspaper and the Facebook and other places that I usually grab things from. So I'm sure you're going to just chime in and help me.
I will. I will.
Okay. Today we start with outdoor pickleball from 9 to 11:30 at the up at the golf course.
Oh, they've changed the time. It's 8:30 to 11:30 now. They've added an extra half an hour.
But I said 8:30 before, and they told me when they were here as guests that it had been changed to 9.
Oh, I think it was the other way around. I think it used to be 9, and they changed it to 8:30.
Okay, well, double
I
check.
wrong? Okay.
Because I used to have it as 8:30. But anyway, show up at 8:30 and you'll be there in plenty of time.
Well, if you go to the Chihuahua.events, the new community calendar,
Okay.
they just resubmitted it, and they did put 8:30. So
Okay,
yeah.
so that must be because it's getting warmer, I would think. And so you want to be out there earlier.
And it is a lot of fun. And pickleball for many years now has been the fastest growing sport in the U.S. And we had
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, we had Leah Mohander on the show.
I know,
And-
and that was interesting.
That was actually a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
And Mohander, he's been coming to the Friday market. We've been chatting with him, and I just love that guy. He's just so much fun to be around.
Yeah.
He's fun to have a conversation with. Beautiful accent too. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so and you can find out more information on their Facebook site, their pickleball, Chihuahua
Mhm.
Pickleball Club on Facebook.
Yeah.
So if you want to know the latest.
And we always need to get out and get more exercise, and it's a really
Yeah.
it's a low entry point into going out and we're getting some movement in, and it doesn't take a lot of physical skill to get started,
Yeah.
but it seems like a fun one.
And then this evening we have bingo at Fired Up Pizza from
Mhm.
6 on, and we have City Council at 6:30, which should be interesting. It's always
Wednesday.
Yeah. Thursday, tomorrow. Okay, go ahead.
We missed a couple things here.
Okay.
Oh, the Chihuahua Valley Lions Club, they're having their monthly meeting. That's going to be at the American Legion Post 54.
Okay.
Wonderful organization, do a lot of great stuff.
They
and
do.
I know they're looking for more members. They're always on the lookout for more members.
Yeah, and we push volunteerism at this radio station.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
Find something that you're interested in, go volunteer.
And
And
you
that's
know,
a good one.
especially if you're a younger person looking to help the community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So places like the Lions Club, and obviously you can do the theater and the Arts Guild, and the fun stuff, but don't forget about like the Lions Club, Kiwanis. They do.
Yes, absolutely.
They have more of a they help more with medical needs and people
Yeah.
that really physically need help in the community. So
Yeah.
sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
No. Anything else on Wednesday today?
Oh, let's see. Just nope, the tech help has moved. I think that's it. Oh, a reminder from the Chamber of Commerce, those newsletter items. If you want your newsletter
Okay.
in this week's newsletter, your item in this week's newsletter, rather, today is the deadline to get those.
I believe
those
you
in.
have to be a chamber member.
Yep,
to,
yeah,
yes.
that's for chamber members. If you want to get your item in the newsletter,
And
you
they
have to-
send it out to all chamber members. And there's
Yep.
like 200 or more
oh yeah,
members of the Chamber of Commerce.
and you have to send that out to info@chihuahua.org. I've got a couple things I need to send in,
Oh, good for
but
you.
I'm probably not going to get it in because I'm going to be traveling as soon as we get off the air.
Aha. So tomorrow, Thursday, the first and third Thursdays, the Chihuahua Valley and Springdale Senior Club meeting at Valley from 10 to 3. It's a potluck and games.
Mhm.
It's
And that's a
first-
hopping party, I hear.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
A lot of people are going to that. It's really
Yeah.
been growing, yeah.
And then first Thursday, Art Walk. We've got a lot of things to talk about that.
We do. But before then, the Chihuahua Food Bank open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
another
Anything else?
important community service. And I do believe, ask them, 'cause I'm not going to speak for them, but I don't know if they're looking for volunteers or not. So, no, let's get on to the art
Okay.
walk.
For some reason, it's a little dark over here.
It is, one of my light right here has been buzzing off and on, and it's been making a lot of noise. So it
Okay,
comes
so
on
if
and
I
it
turn
and
this-
it hums and it makes awful noises.
Okay, this is a little bit more light. I just wanted to be able to tell you that there's so much going on with the art walk. Goodness sakes, they're having the plein air exhibit.
Yes.
That was the last weekend where they did that. And explain to us again what plein air means.
So the plein air event is where people go. It's sort of it's not impromptu because it's planned, but you go and you pick a spot and you paint what you see in that spot in the moment. And it's not a studio painting. You don't have, all of your equipment. You have what you can carry with you, and you finish the painting on the spot.
Yeah.
And
And that happened last weekend.
yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
there were a lot of folks. Actually, it was two weekends ago, I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
Because there
Ye-
were
Oh, they run into
they
each
do,
other
they do.
now.
I just remember because Paula was sitting next to me doing her painting, and I remember where we were in the Friday market, and last week we're in a different location.
Aha.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a wonderful thing, and they really capture. I love that they capture the art in the moment, and each painting has a different feel, and I love comparing the different pieces from different artists, especially when they go in the same spot, and seeing the different interpretations of the same spot.
Well, yes, and if you missed watching them live, you can see the results at the Yale Press and at Trails End Gallery.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then also the Trails End Gallery. Their theme is the Women Painters of Washington.
Yeah. This is the second month with them.
Yes,
And
yes.
that is a statewide organization of a bunch of different female artists.
Uh-huh.
And they sort of rotate their lineup, and they do shows all around the state. And we interviewed them last month before the art walk, or before the art talk. And they've been on another time before. And these are, I guess, what's the right word for it? They're all professional artists.
Uh-huh.
You have to reach a certain level of your art career before you're even allowed in. So it's pretty,
Oh.
they're
Not exclusive, but it's a
high end.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The caliber of artists in the Women Painters of Washington is extremely high, and they're all very accomplished artists.
And so will there be an art talk tonight?
There will be an art. Well, actually, no, I don't think there will be an art talk tonight because it's the plein air event, and they did their art talk for the Women Painters of Washington last month.
Oh, okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I think every other month I think the art talk is only every other month.
Oh, okay.
But we did have Tim on last night. If you go to our Facebook page, you can see the interview
Yeah,
with Tim.
I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah. We usually do those on Wednesdays, but I'm going to be traveling, so we had Tim come in on a Tuesday night
Ah,
and do
yeah,
it.
because I was wondering. I'm clicking and I'm going, is this right? Yeah. Or is this leftover from another week?
No, we did it. We
Yeah.
were gonna go ahead and just pre-record a show and play it, and then we're like, you know what? Let's just do it live right now.
Ah, nice. And then Stephen Ewens is at Westoff Excavation, his art. Blake Weir,
He's
one of
a
our...
sculptor. Stephen Ewens is a sculptor.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
so he does. I believe it was ceramic sculpting.
Oh, and that's a beautiful place to display
It really is
art in
It
there
really
at
is.
Westoff's. Yes. And then Blake Weir, our very own
Yeah,
Blake, is going to be at the Quartzsite Brewing.
and his art's. Have you seen it?
Uh-uh.
It's really neat. He does art on reused and recycled materials and cardboard
Oh, cool.
and scraps and stuff. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
puts together some pretty amazing stuff.
Huh.
It's over the brewery. If you haven't seen it yet,
Right.
you should go check it out. And most
Oh,
of
it's already there set up
Yeah,
now?
it's
Even
his-
before tomorrow?
it's his second month there. He was there last month and
Oh.
this month.
Okay. Okay.
But most of his pieces have sold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, so
How fun.
so people are it was his first time doing a show,
Uh-huh.
and people are really responding well to his art.
Wow.
And it's flying off the shelf.
And he's local.
Yeah.
And he's
yeah.
part of our radio
He is our Monday night
family.
DJ. He
Yeah.
is the professor.
And then Chris Davis and Annika Davidson will be at the Spotlight Gallery. Can you tell us anything about those two?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the other artists' work, but I'm very familiar with Chris Davis's work. She does, and Tim and I we discussed this last night. It's almost not fair to call it wire wrap art because there's a lot of jewelry made with wire wrapping. I'm not saying anything bad about it. A lot of it's all great, but her work transcends that. She does more sculptural work. It's the intricacy of her wire work and the tiny little wires and the tiny little folds and knots and the way she'll do these 3D sculptures and she'll do trees and all.
So
It's crazy.
you need to go see it, is what we're telling
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Chris's work, she's an award-winning artist. I believe she was one of the winners of the Juried Winterfest last year and this year, I believe. Really, people are really responding well to her work, and it's incredible the stuff she does with wire art.
Yeah, yeah.
Unlike anything any of us have ever seen before.
Well, I'm not sure how long the first Thursday's been going on, but it's been going on quite a while.
Yeah.
And when Tim first started it, he had maybe 3 or 4 sponsors, and I don't imagine we can talk about the sponsors, but
We can mention them.
oh, can
Yeah.
we? Because now look at the group of sponsors: the Yale Press, the Independent, Chewelah Arts Guild, Westoff, Edward Jones, Chewelah Chamber of Commerce, Trails End Gallery, KCHW, Chewelah Golf and Country, Spirit of Clay Studio, Quartzsite Brewing, Women Painters of Washington, Chewelah Creative District, and that's Sporties, I think. It's so dark I can't read it over here, but I think that logo, it looks like Sporties. Is that amazing?
It is. It is.
That's just how it's grown and how people are involved. That's just so neat.
It is, and it's all over town now. And
Yeah.
Tim keeps trying to say, "Oh, it belongs to the town now," but I joked with him last night. We'll always give Tim the credit for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there are going to be, for the plein air event, it is a non-juried event, so there won't be an official winner, but there is going to be a People's Choice Award, and that's going to be sponsored by the Chewelah Creative District. With the winner of the People's Choice Award gets a $200 Blick gift card, and then the Chewelah Arts Guild also has a $200 prize, and they will be picking the winner of that. They have their own selection process, and their winner will also get $200. So
Wow.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
but $200 from Blick will get you a lot of crayons.
So anything else happening on Thursday? Oh, yes, sir. At the Oasis, they're having karaoke with DJ JD.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's Craig Meyer Karaoke. They'll be singing it up over there. And those are fun. We had Cheweah's Got Talent. We had one of the performers, Deanna. She came from the Craig Meyer Karaoke sessions.
Oh, how fun.
And she won the we're calling it the bag prize.
Uh-huh.
We had people drop dollar bills in paper
Yeah.
bags, and whoever got the most in their bag won that prize.
That was fun. That was a fun night.
It was. I'm
Yeah.
pretty proud of that show.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
So then Friday, June 6th, we start the day with the Chamber of Commerce meeting out at the casino at 7 a.m. Pickleball, 8:30 or 9, probably 8:30 to 11:30.
You know what? If you
No.
show up at 8:30, you'll probably
Yeah.
no one's going to turn you away.
Yep. And then farmers market from 11 to 3:30. My goodness, when I went last week to the farmers market, that's a hopping place already.
It is. They've been having a record year for the number of vendors signed up.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head, but I believe this year for opening day they had more vendors on opening day than they've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
And the attendance has just been
Well, I
busy
think he
all day.
said there was going to be 55 vendors on opening day.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he said when he was
Yeah,
here?
something along those lines.
Yeah,
And I think
when we had him as a special guest, Mr.
Yeah.
Finley. Yeah.
Mr. Finley, he's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah. And then I don't have anything else for Friday. I know that the Legion probably has some kind of dinner, but I search and I never can find what it is until after the Wednesday show.
I thought of something, but I think that was last Friday.
Yeah, but it was the hot dog day.
Yeah, hot dogs for the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
last week.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody today,
Yeah.
or nobody that we know of.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'd check. I'd call them or stop by and check it
Yeah,
out. I bet
yeah.
you they've got something going on.
Now, Saturday is Jenkins High School graduation at 11 a.m.
Yes.
And so if you are lucky enough to have a graduate, you get to sit in the heat of the gymnasium, listening to wonderful speakers and watching your favorite person walk across the stage.
Outstanding. So they're doing it at Jenkins High School.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's nice because there's nothing on the community calendar for Saturday, so it's a good day to have that clear for the kids for graduation.
Yeah, we've been invited to a couple of grad parties, and one was this last Sunday. I went to that one. On this Saturday, I have 3 of them at the same time,
Wow.
from 1 to 3. So I'm going, okay, if I go to this one at 1 and this one at 2 and this one just a little after that, I can hit them all.
Wow.
You know.
I know my graduation party after I graduated high school. No parents were allowed there.
Oh, really?
We didn't get too rowdy, but it was
yeah, but
it was us kids
you want parents because they're the ones that bring the gifts.
and food.
Yes, and food. Yeah.
You know what I got, and this isn't a joke. What I got for my graduation gift? Luggage.
Oh well, yeah. And did you get a one-way ticket too?
I kind of, yeah. Well, I was going to college, so I think it was to pack and go away for college. So.
Yeah. Our neighbor that we had a long time ago, he graduated from Newport and he got a one-way ticket to Europe.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he said it took him 6 months to earn enough money to come back to the United States.
Wow.
And he, washed dishes and did other stuff so he could earn enough money. What an experience.
Wow, that's cool. Where was he working?
Just in restaurants and stuff, probably under the table. I don't know if he had
Yeah.
a visa or what, but this was probably 30 years ago that he went because he's, older and a grandparent now. But,
Yeah.
I can't imagine sending a graduate somewhere like that.
I could imagine working in like a little cafe in Paris or something would
Yeah.
be like just a dream.
Yeah.
Well, except for you wouldn't be able to understand what. Well, no,
Ex-
because they probably want people that can speak English and talk to
Oh.
the tourists.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sunday we have all ages blues jam from 4 to 7 at Fired Up Pizza with the dinosaurs. And that's all I have for Sunday.
Where you're invited to bring your axe and join the jam.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. And it changes all the time if you have different people coming. On Monday, June 9th, pickleball in the morning. It is at the library, the Second Monday Brick Club, 3:30 to 4:30. I wonder if they'll keep that same time as during the summer when school's out. Probably.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
And then I found something interesting. Single deck pinnacle at 5 p.m. at Senior Center every Monday.
Really?
It was in that little blip in the Independent that tells what's going on.
Huh.
Yeah. And I hadn't heard of that before.
Wow. Well,
And-
somebody needs to contact them and tell them to put that on the Chihuahua.events calendar.
Yeah, they
so
do.
we can all know about it.
Yeah. That night, Monday night, is Teen Conservatory auditions. Stage Time Theater School is having auditions for their summer Teens Conservative production of Anne of Green Gables. The auditions will be from 6 to 8 on Monday, the 9th. Now, I do know that she is auditioning a couple others. I believe it's tonight because they couldn't come on Monday. So, and that's Jessica Setti, who is the director for this show. Now, it's a little exclusive. It's open to actors that are ages 12 to 19, so it's not the younger kids, and they have had to participate in at least one previous stage time performance.
Okay.
So then she's getting kids that have got a basic, Now, I don't know anything else about that, but it says it's a unique opportunity to bring L.M. Montgomery's beloved characters to life on stage in a heartwarming and spirited adaptation. So, interestingly, they're going to do it in the round.
That's what I was going to ask about.
Yeah.
So tell us about what that means.
That means the stage is in the center and the seating is all the way around. Now, the high school did a couple of those shows at the center a few years back. And it was so interesting because there was only like 3 rows of seating, but there were 100 people watching, and everybody got a front row seat. And the actors, they have to learn to turn and turn and turn and turn because,
Yeah.
one group is front and one, then another. You know, you have to learn. It's a different skill
That
to
that
act in the round.
that is because normally in theater, having your back to the audience is, I mean,
Yeah.
that's like silence on the radio.
Yeah.
That's a crime, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's got to be an interesting experience
Yeah.
from a cool experience for the audience and the actors to be able to interact with people all the way around you.
Well, and also for the set designer,
Yeah.
because you don't have flats at the back, you can't block any of your audience.
Oh yeah.
So the design of the set will be quite interesting. Whether things roll off and on or not, I don't know. Melissa Curie is our set designer, and
Yeah.
she's excellent.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing. So yeah, L.M. Montgomery wrote Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea. Is
Yeah.
I pronouncing that right? Anne of the Island. Basically all the Anne books.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
well, except for Willa of Inglesdale.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the productions aren't until the end of July, 1st of August. But still, they'll be working on that show for the next couple of months. There is a registration form and monologues, and you're to prepare one of the monologues. And you can go to Chihuahua Center for the Arts and click that on and download those
So
registrations.
so you have to pre-learn your monologue to audition.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
Uh-huh.
That's a good way to do the auditions.
Uh-huh.
Probably speeds up the process a little bit too.
Yeah. Well, and Stage Time does that now, but they have their first class. They give them the monologues. You know, it's a page, and you just pick which one you want to memorize. And then they have auditions the second week. Well, with the Teen Conservatory, they already have basic Stage Time experience, so they should be able to just jump right into these auditions.
Oh yeah.
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 And we don't have Paula with us this morning, but she is directing the new Shakespeare in the Park play, The Tempest, and that's going along well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've actually got a part in it, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
Good for you.
It's going to be set in modern times off of Seattle,
Yeah.
and there's a group of Native American drummers that are going to be there drumming. They are the Tempest. They are the tone
Ooh.
of the story with the drums and the wind and the storm, and the voices on the
Nice.
island and the songs. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's really kind of a fun, cool collaboration. So
Yeah. So, and then Friday, I'm just jumping from next Monday to Friday.
Mhm.
Friday's the last day of school, and then the very next week, I'm not sure, let's see, 15, 16, must be the 17th? No, it must be the 16th.
Mhm.
Chihuahua Golf Camp.
oh yeah,
And that's a reasonable camp. It's all week long, maybe only 4 days, 4 or 5 days. But I saw that they're only taking 60 participants. And so I called to sign up my granddaughter because my daughter asked me to sign her up. And they said they'd put her on a list, but she wasn't registered until we came and paid the fee.
oh
Yeah. So, and they said check or cash. So I couldn't even do it over the phone. And so, and last year it filled up.
oh, it
No.
fills up every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know my kids did that once years ago, and they're not golfers, but they really enjoyed the camp.
Oh yeah,
it was a good
yeah,
time.
Yeah, and it's one of those that it's a lifetime sport, like tennis.
Right,
You know, you're not going to run track the rest of your life probably,
right.
and you probably won't play baseball or basketball except some pickup games here and there. But golf can be a lifetime sport.
Oh yeah, it takes 5 minutes to learn the game and a lifetime to never get good at it. Yeah.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
can-
Okay, and then
as much money as you spend on golf clubs, you'll.
yeah,
Sorry guys, you're never gonna make the pros. A lot of people do though,
and a golf cart and all that other stuff.
and we've got some good folks. Josh up there really does a great job with it, and
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal golfer.
Yeah.
So.
And those teachers, they love kids, you know, for that camp. Yeah. And then you already mentioned that The Tempest is in production.
Mhm.
That, well, let's see. This flyer does not have the date. Well, 18
it's-
and 19, isn't it, of
I,
July?
I believe so. It's the weekend after the Summerfest, which is
Yeah.
happening July 12th.
Yeah. Which is fun to have more than one weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yep. But the weekend before, which I should have had these in the right order, Stage Time Summer Camp. Stage Time Theater Summer Camp. And their title for this year is Boxes and Hats, a Week of Discovery.
Ooh,
I'm not sure what they're. I know that over at the center, we're saving all the boxes that we get for her, and we've got a pile of hats.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and that is that show will be July 12th.
That's going to happen during Summerfest.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the week this I'm going to have to talk to the person who made this poster because this is a little deceiving because it starts on Monday and ends on the 12th.
Right, right.
And so it needs to have those. Yeah. Anyway.
I wonder what the boxes and hats. That's intriguing to me
Yeah.
because as we all know, cats and kids, you throw away the toy and play with the box.
Yeah.
And growing up with my kids, one of my favorite books to read them, it was a children's book called Not a Box.
Oh.
And if anybody's familiar with that book,
I've not heard of it.
it's basically there's this discussion going on, and they're like, oh, what's that box? And the kid goes, that's not a box. That's a rocket ship.
Oh.
And there's all these descriptions, and it's all the kid talking about all these amazing things and all their imagination.
Yeah.
That's not a box. That's this. But it's really, the whole time in the story, it's just a box sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, it's this, and they're using their imaginations, and all these fun things they're doing, with this box. One of my favorite, makes me nostalgic. It's one of my favorite kids books with my kids growing up. So
Nice.
one we read all the time, over and over again.
Yeah.
And I believe the little kid had a bunny rabbit that they were always putting in the box.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. So, and that's what I've got.
All right.
Just a few teasers. We're going to have a fun summer,
We are.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I've got one more big one that I need to talk
Okay.
about. And Craig McQuain says good morning, Sharon and Chuck. He's listening.
good.
And Craig, I'm going to be talking about this. Cindy Warner says popular. I wonder.
popular.
She posted it a while ago. I'm wondering what she was talking about. Maybe we're popular,
I don't know. Or we're supposed to sing popular.
right? I don't know the words. Go ahead, Sharon. Kick
I
it
don't
off.
know the
All right.
words either. I just know that one word.
So we are bringing a one-of-a-kind experience to Chihuahua,
Okay.
June 30th. This is
Oh,
a
yes.
Monday evening. It's a little unusual to have a concert on a Monday evening, but this is a concert unlike anything Chihuahua has ever seen.
And I have the note, but I didn't.
This I wore my shirt yesterday. I should have worn it today. It's Igor and the Red Elvises.
Igor. huh?
Igor and the Red Elvises. Now, this is a one-of-a-kind band. They are a Ukrainian folk, rockabilly, surf rock, ska reggae band. Now, maybe not so much reggae, but a little more on the ska side. They are a ton of fun. They mix. They're amazing musicians, phenomenal musicians, ton of energy, and they mix in a little comedy and humor. And you're gonna.
Is anybody dressed like Elvis?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes.
Oh.
And if I can find a costume, possibly even me. And
Oh.
and they do encourage people to go to their show and dress up. You can dress up as Elvis. You can dress up in whatever you want.
Ah.
Just be kooky and wacky. And we're gonna leave it mostly open because you're not gonna be able to sit still. You're gonna want to get up.
So we'll have seating around and a dance
Yeah,
floor.
yeah. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll dance your booty off.
Oh, good.
And as they like to remind you, they're your favorite band.
Aha.
So we got posters going up soon. I'm traveling this week. I'm not going to be able to get those posters out, but maybe I can get them to the printer. And maybe Craig, if you're listening, maybe you can stop by the Independent and pick those posters up for us and help get some out. But we need to get those out this week.
So the
Sharon.
Warners say Sharon is popular.
Yes.
3 parties at the same time. No, that's not really a lot. When you consider there's, I don't know how many graduates, but, yeah.
She never comes to my parties. I'm not cool enough.
You didn't graduate from high school here. And I go if I get an invitation.
That's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
And I had one young man, I called his mom last week, and I said, now, is he going to graduate? Because I haven't gotten an invitation from him. And his older sisters, I always got invitations. And she said, oh, yeah, he's supposed to. And he's supposed to have given out the invitations. I will make sure he gets yours to you. And I did get it this last week.
Nice.
But, because I said, I don't go to parties if I don't, graduation parties. If I don't get an invitation, I don't just crash the party,
I think the last party we threw at our house, it was my wife's 50th. And
Ooh.
I'm not going to say how long ago it was, but it was a little while ago. We still have the bolts up in the walls. We have eye bolts in our walls that you can string ropes across and do we can turn our entire living room into a blanket fort.
Oh.
And so we had a blanket party. We did a blanket fort and we watched movies in the blanket fort and had snacks and popcorn, and
How
it was
fun.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. So with that said, I think it's time to take a break.
Okay.
We're going to listen to some news. We're going to thank our sponsors, and we'll be back in just a little bit. We are going to have a little bit of a shorter show today. I've got to get out of here. Sharon's got to get out of here.
Right.
So we'll probably cut the show off about 15 minutes early today, but we will be back after the break. We're going to do maybe some odd news and some celebrity birthdays.
Oh, yeah. Things we haven't even touched on for a while.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But we'll be right back after these messages right here on KCHW 102.7. Northern Lights Public Radio. Stick around.
It's 8:17.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from
Colville Toyota. Colville Toyota, located at 160 West 3rd Avenue in Colville, offers new and used vehicle sales and service. Vehicle sales is open 8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with a Toyota Express Maintenance Center open 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information on Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com. A small-town dealership with a big heart.
and by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
The Public News Service DOE Newscast, June the 4th, 2025. I'm Mike Clifford. The wife and children of Boulder, Colorado terrorism suspect Mohammed Solomon are in the custody of ICE enforcement, and the family is being processed for expedited removal, according to the Department of Homeland Security. That from ABC News. They report Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem said Tuesday, "We're investigating to what extent his family knew about his heinous attack, if they had knowledge of it, or if they provided support to it." Solomon, who was arrested after allegedly throwing Molotov cocktails in an act of terrorism during a pro-Israeli demonstration Sunday, has been in the U.S. on an expired tourist visa. The father of 5 was granted a work permit, but that also had expired in March. And as the U.S. Senate debates major cuts to federal services in the budget reconciliation bill, Pennsylvanians living with disabilities are worried about the potential of $700 billion to cuts to Medicaid.
Medicaid supports nearly 1 in 4 Pennsylvanians, including roughly 750,000 with disabilities. One of them is Josie Baggard, a disability rights advocate who says she receives a waiver through Medicaid to help pay for a power wheelchair, ventilator, and other services. Baggard says Medicaid is her lifeline, and a loss or reduction of benefits would be life-changing.
I had 24-hour care I could not get out of bed every day without that care, let alone work, have a business, be a foster mom, own a home, any of that. Without that coverage, Josie would not be here.
The budget bill passed the U.S. House by a single vote. Every Republican House member from Pennsylvania supported it. This story was produced with original reporting from Anna Gustafson for the Pennsylvania Independent. I'm Danielle Smith.
Next buy-in on Montana's first state-funded early literacy program has been lower than expected in its first year. A school administrator group aims to offer training to help increase the numbers.
State lawmakers in this year's session added math literacy to a 2023 reading literacy program for K through third graders, which is voluntary for both students and schools. Rob Watson with School Administrators of Montana says the most successful early literacy programs are aligned with their associated upper grade levels.
Everything down to how the curriculum aligns, how the assessments align, how you identify which kids need extra help, the strategies have to be aligned in grades pre-K all the way through 3.
Watson applied for a grant to help train elementary school principals in that alignment, which he thinks could increase use of the programs. Participation varies widely by region, which he says is likely related to the availability of accredited teachers. According to his research, nearly 70% of districts in north central Montana have launched the program, compared to only 5% in northeast Montana. I'm Kathleen Shannon.
This is Public News Service. Senior advocates are sounding the alarm of the impact of social isolation on older people in states like Illinois, saying loneliness is compatible to smoking and can increase the risk of an early death by 50%.
Research shows a lack of social connection is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Jean Hyde Grubman with Chicago Methodist Senior Services calls social isolation and loneliness in seniors a silent epidemic, explaining the older people get, the more likely their interactions with others will decrease.
A lot of attention is paid to medical issues, physical issues, but it's that social aspect of us as human beings that I feel is kind of neglected.
About 40% of adults over age 60 in Illinois live alone. Grubman says community initiatives like their organization's Senior Connections program that matches people for intergenerational friendships aims to encourage connectedness, citing studies that show social connection increases the odds of survival and happiness. I'm Judith Ruiz-Branch reporting.
And a new study spotlights what might actually help young people stay out of the juvenile justice system, and it might not be what you'd expect.
As Alabama and other states work to respond to youth violence and mental health needs, these findings are worth a closer look, says Josh Weber with the Council of State Governments.
We do have a responsibility to try to make sure we identify the young people that are most at risk of violence and victimization and ensure that we are developing and implementing evidence-based strategies to provide those young people with the services and supports they need.
The Youth Protective Factor study followed thousands of young people in 3 states. While most teens didn't reoffend after supervision, those who did weren't always the ones with obvious red flags. Shantia Hudson reporting.
Finally, like many major cities across the country, Houston has a landfill problem. The city is projected to produce more than 5 million tons of trash annually by 2040 and only has 5 landfills.
The former director of solid waste management, Mark Wilfalk, says the city is working on a plan to deal with waste and is looking for alternatives to landfills.
Some places, instead of having landfills, they have waste-to-energy plants that converts all the waste into energy. And that energy gets sold off into the grid and just kind of repurposed for that. More aggressive recycling programs. They're trying to find other alternatives to waste disposal, separating organics out.
A 2021 report commissioned by the city showed that Houston needed to start the process for a new landfill as soon as possible. This story was produced with original reporting from Elena Briss with Houston Landing. I'm Frida Ross reporting.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
KCHW is online at kchw.org. Listen to the live stream, find out about station events, memberships, local weather, and volunteering. You're listening to KCHW 102.7.
There we go. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Back with us?
All right now.
I just barely had time to go out and feed the horses.
One of them tried to run off, little varmint.
Good boy.
Yeah. That little varmint was named Sharon. She tried to run out of here. I had to lasso her up and stick her back in her seat. Sit down, Sharon. We got another show to do. We're not done yet. Get back here. Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. We are back with myself, Chuck Ritchie, and Sharon Ludwig. We have. Oh, were you nodding at somebody?
No.
Oh, I thought you said hi to somebody.
I was just saying, yeah, okay, we're back. I don't know.
Are they in the room with us right now? Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. Did you have a good break?
I did.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And you?
I did. Had a lovely chat with Sharon. Yeah. I didn't even get out of my seat and stretch. I usually do a little stretch and refill my coffee. My coffee's still almost too hot to drink, though.
Oh.
So it's a good mug. It's a good mug.
That's good.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's jump right into some stuff that we normally don't do here on the morning show. We usually just keep talking, but
yeah.
I sometimes I love doing these with you, the celebrity birthdays. Let's switch over to them because it's fun to see how many people you recognize.
Okay.
And there's a very popular, I guess it's a YouTube series with an actress named Tig Notaro, and she's a wonderful person and a lot of fun. And there's a show, I can't remember what it is, but basically she's a celebrity herself, but she has no idea who other celebrities are. She doesn't even own a TV. She doesn't watch TV, and they try to get her to guess these other celebrities, and she can never get them. And for some reason, I feel that I get that from you, and it's a lot of fun. And her show is amazing. It's a lot of fun to watch. So
okay, so I can't even find the celebrity. Oh, here they are, right at the top.
Do you want to take these away?
Well, I can start.
Yeah, do it.
So I don't know half of them. Bruce Dern. I don't know who he is.
Bruce Dern. He's been around since.
Well, it says he's 89, so he's older than I am.
Yeah, he started out in like the black and white movies. Laura Dern's father, I believe. Yeah.
Well, I don't know who she is either. Parker Stevenson, an actor known for the Hardy Boys and Baywatch, is 73.
That one, I have no idea who that is.
Me either. Who's
not a Baywatch fan though?
Who's Missimo Guan?
Massimo.
Where is Paula when I need her to pronounce these names?
Massimo Gianelli.
Okay.
We're going to say
fashion designer, founder of Massimo clothing brand, is 62.
Yeah. Very popular in the 80s and 90s, I believe.
Okay. Scott Wolf, actor best known for Party of Five and Everward. I haven't heard of those either, but you know me, I'm not into the entertainment stuff.
I think I vaguely know him, and there's a bunch today that I have no idea who these people are either.
He's 57.
Interesting.
Horatio Sanz.
Horatio
Sanz, an actor and comedian from Saturday Night Live. That's on too late for me to watch it. But that's in your element. That's when you're waking up.
Sharon, it's like 10 p.m. That's early.
Oh, well, it used to be like at 11:30 or 12.
Was actually I don't know. I watch it the next day on YouTube. Well, I watched the clips. I haven't watched it. I used to watch it. I remember growing up, I used to watch it. It was like Saturday night. You got to watch Saturday Night Live, and I don't watch it so much anymore.
56. Okay, Noah Wyle.
Noah Wiley, yeah.
Wiley, an actor, starred as Dr. John Carter on ER and Tom Mason in Falling Skies. Okay, I've heard of ER.
No, Falling Skies. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, he's 54.
Falling Skies is one of my favorite sci-fi TV shows of all time. It was a show about fighting off an alien invasion.
Ooh.
And there were multiple factions of aliens fighting each other on the planet Earth and fighting for dominance to take over the planet Earth. So, yeah, really, really interesting, fun show. It ran for quite a few seasons.
Russell Brand. Now, I've heard of that name, but I cannot put a face with it. Comedian, actor, and author known for Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Get Him to the Greek. Okay, is 50. Angelina Jolie. Now, I've heard of her, and I know who she is. Actress, filmmaker, humanitarian, Academy Award winner for Girl Interrupted, known for Laura Croft, Tomb Raider, Maleficent. Yeah, and humanitarian work is 50. She can't be that old. She just looks so much younger.
And the first movie is actually one. It's confusing because there's commas. It's Girl Interrupted is the first movie. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't have their punctuation correct here.
They do. They just it's the movie itself has the comma in it. It's
Oh, I
girl
get it.
interrupted.
Okay.
But then there's a bunch of commas afterwards, so
Okay.
confusing.
Yeah. Theo Rossi, an actor known for Sons of Anarchy and Luke Cage, is 50. T.J. Miller, a comedian and actor known for Silicon Valley and Deadpool, is 44. I don't know how to pronounce this next one.
Raffaelli?
Raffaelli. Okay, a model and businesswoman. Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue cover model. An entrepreneur is 40. And Mackenzie Ziegler. Okay, I recognize that girl. She's got from Dance Moms. And she's got a sister. Is Mackenzie the one that sings, or is her sister the one that sings? Anyway, she's 21.
I don't know. You don't know any of these people, but you know the Dance Moms?
No, I don't. There's a show called So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah.
And I like watching that, and the Ziegler girls have been on it.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I knew that.
That's a good one. So Sharon, are you ready? We haven't done trivia in a long time.
No, we have not.
Don't scroll down.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, you do
some
it. Go
trivia?
ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to ask me the questions, or do you want me to ask you the questions?
No, you go ahead, and
okay.
I'll make a fool of myself.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do some trivia with Sharon.
Okay.
And sometimes I like to pull up more trivia than what we have here. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Well, in a way, but yeah. So we've got a few questions for you here. So there are. Let's see here. Oh, this is a thing. This is a thing that more dog owners do than cat owners. The question is very vague, so I'm going to narrow it down. This is something that you would do on your phone. More dog owners do this than cat owners.
You do it on your phone? You call the dog at home?
No, but I like your thinking because I have done that.
Well, I don't know. You're petting the dog to keep him quiet so you can be on the phone.
No.
No?
It's something that you would do. I wouldn't say for your pet because I don't think your pet gets any advantage from this. But it was something
You order food?
No.
Oh.
Do you give up?
Yeah, I give up.
More dog owners than cat owners have a pet specific photo album on their phone.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So
oh.
a special album with just pictures of your dogs.
Okay, so I'm not thinking of an expanded phone. I'm just thinking of being on the phone talking to somebody.
See, I'm bad with my pictures on my phone. I don't do albums. I just
don't either.
have thousands of random photos. Half of them are like,
So while you're waiting in the dentist chair or something, you could be organizing your photos.
Yeah, deleting like taking a picture of the computer because I need to remember a setting for the next 5 minutes, and then that picture stays on my phone forever.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do delete. I take pictures and delete.
I never delete anything. It's terrible. I don't even close my windows on Chrome when I'm online. My wife always gets on me because I'll have 150 tabs open on my computer.
Oh, I don't have quite that many, but I have tabs all the way crossed. And if somebody X's out the whole thing, it's like, you shut down my computer. How could you do that?
I know it's time to close a bunch of tabs when my computer just freezes because it's working too hard.
Aha.
All right. So the next question here. Ooh, it's the right time of year for this. The average American homeowner will spend 40 hours a year doing what?
Mowing the lawn.
You are correct.
But that doesn't seem like enough. 40 hours a year?
No, it doesn't. And if you didn't get it, then one of my next clues was I have spent 0 hours doing this so far this year. Yeah, I need to do that. I'm to the point now. It's my allergies. I look at my yard and I get a runny nose and I start coughing thinking about mowing the yard.
You could wear a mask. We got used to that for 2 years.
We did.
You could wear a mask.
We did. And I've been so busy, I can't even imagine a time when I could go out. Now that it's so long, it's going to be like a whole project.
Oh.
And I do want to thank some random mystery person who has been mowing my front yard.
Oh.
I have no idea who it is, but somebody's been mowing my yard.
They just
my
want the
front yard, so
neighborhood to look better.
They're like, over this guy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So next question here. We've got another one here.
Okay.
So this is a hole in a headline.
Okay.
So I want you to fill in the hole.
Okay.
So according to a study, your cat recognizes you by, and the answers are A, your face, B, your smell, C, your shoe size, or D, your voice. How does your cat recognize you?
Oh, well, I would like to think it would be my face, but I'm not a cat owner, so I'm thinking maybe it's the smell.
You are correct.
Okay.
It is the smell.
Huh.
Yeah. That's
So how do they figure that out? Do they blindfold the cat and put 3 people in and see which one they go to?
maybe it's a survey. They ask the cat questions, have them fill out a little form.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always wonder how they figure these things out, you know?
Yeah, because a lot of times they don't ask me, and I am one of a bunch of people in the United States that they don't ask on anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, and you see these weird survey things like, you know, how do cats or dogs do this? How do spiders see, you know? I mean, I guess that one because they can actually kind of look through their eyes, but I don't understand how they get these things for, you know.
Well, they must have a cat whisperer or somebody who can speak cat and asks them.
Right?
Yeah.
I always thought if someone could ever actually come up with a way to figure out like a cat language. I know they've probably been people trying it for years. I don't know if we ever can, but to actually be able to communicate with animals, that would be a very, very rich person.
Well,
wouldn't it?
There are people, you know, that think they can. Well, I was watching a little something the other day, and this man was sitting with a dog that was in a shelter, and he said, because of this and this behavior, this is what he's feeling right now. And, you know, things like that. So how does he know that because he's cowering in the corner, he's feeling this and that? You know, we make up things about animals.
I do know that, you know, for many, many years, people were under the assumption that animals, I remember thinking, but hearing this as a kid, and I don't know if it was just in my family, but there used to be this notion that animals couldn't feel emotions.
Oh,
and I don't understand how anyone could ever own a pet.
Yeah.
And think that animal didn't have emotions.
Yeah. All you got to do is watch them when they're jumping up and down because you came and they won't leave you alone.
And they're so happy.
Yeah.
And if you ever have your dog smile at you, you're done. You're done for. They can get whatever they want.
Absolutely can smile.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Dogs have great smiles. We've got a couple. Our dogs have the best smiles. All right. So we got another question for you.
Okay.
Oh, where is that? I lost my place here. Okay. The average, and this is some of us don't do this enough.
Okay.
The average person, the average American, does this to other people about 22 times a day.
Okay, I'm thinking smile, because we just were talking about smile, or acknowledge them, or look them in the eye.
No. Let me give you another clue here. It's something that some people that are way too busy all the time and have too many things they're doing don't say enough to other people.
Thank you.
Nope.
Just some kind of acknowledgement we're talking?
It's sort of an acknowledgement. It can be viewed as a negative thing, but not always, because I always say this is a complete sentence, but it's not one I'm good at using.
How are you?
Do you want the answer?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
They say no 22 times a day.
Oh, really?
And some of us don't say no enough.
Oh, yeah, because when I was raising children, I remember thinking at times I said no more than I should have. My first reaction was, no, you can't do that. No.
Right.
I had to learn to let go, and to let them try things,
And there's some of it, like, I know I'm guilty of this. Something's really cool and I want to do it. Yeah, that sounds fun. I'll do that. Oh, you want to help with that? Yeah, sure. And then I end up saying yes to too many things and I get too busy.
Oh, yeah. There was a time where I cut these, a big N and a big O out of a piece of construction paper. And we had one phone in the house and I taped them on the wall. No. So when people would call to ask me, I'd look at that and I go, no, I don't have time for that. You know?
I know, like my kids, when somebody when you know, my kids, there would be other kids come knocking on the door, and one of my kids' normal reactions to that would be to dive behind the couch. I'm not here. Like, but that's your friend. You don't want to go hang out with your friend? I mean, no, not right now. I just want to be alone. That's what you get when I think my wife's antisocialness kind of rubbed off on my kids.
Uh-huh.
All right. So the next question here: it is estimated that all of the major paintings which go on sale each year, 10 to 40% of them have this in common. Of all the artwork that goes on sale each year, 10 to 40% have this trait.
They have a tree in them.
This is definitely a negative thing.
Oh.
This is not a good thing. This is not what you want when you buy a piece of art.
There's something dark and sinister.
No, sometimes that can be really pleasant, really great piece of art.
Oh.
This is something that's never good in a piece of art. Especially if you're paying a lot of money for it.
There's no signature?
That can be a sign of this.
It's not painted by anybody famous?
You were closer with the first one.
Oh, no signature.
So what is if something doesn't have a signature, it's usually
they're forgeries.
Yeah, exactly, they're fake. 10 to
Oh.
40% of all art that goes on sale every year is a
Wow.
forgery.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because often you're not going to buy the original. You're going to buy a copy, but you usually know it's a copy.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember, so there was, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the artist Bev Doolittle. She was an Alaskan artist. She was pretty well known nationwide for a while, especially in the 90s. She did these paintings where it was, paintings of the woods where there would be the spots and the trees and horses and animals.
Oh, yeah.
And there would be sort of, the animals would sort of blend in with camouflage in the trees
Right,
background.
right.
You remember seeing those?
Uh-huh.
Bev Doolittle was the artist that painted those. And there was a kiosk in our local mall, this was in Wasilla, Alaska, that was selling Bev Doolittle paintings. And they sold a lot of paintings, and they were, quite expensive.
Uh-huh.
And it turned out they were all fake. People had taken them out of they weren't even trying to be real with them. Some of them, they had cut them out of magazines and framed them and were selling them as real paintings.
So were they her painting originally, and they've just made copies of
Yeah.
them?
Yeah. And they weren't even like forged paintings. Some of them were just posters that they framed and said, "Hey, it's a Bev Doolittle painting." And it was this big scandal, because it was Bev Doolittle's hometown. And yeah, scandalous. Bad stuff. All right. So we have one more question here.
Okay.
This is the last one, I promise. This is answer wrong and win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I want
This
you.
is sometimes harder than the answer right.
So there are 4 questions.
Okay.
And I want you really quick to give the wrong answer.
Okay.
What is a down pillow stuffed with?
Oh, chicken feathers. No, that's not right.
That is a wrong answer.
Yeah. I
They're
was
usually-
thinking of something else, but
What were you thinking?
I was thinking of chicken fat.
That's even worse. What is a baby bear called?
Oh, it's a kit.
Oh, there you go. What? No, there is an actual animal that's a kit. What is that? Is that a
I don't remember, but I think, is that a goat is a kid?
A goat is a kid.
A kid. You're
Maybe
right.
I'm wrong. Kit's the car from Knight Rider.
No, but there is some kind of a baby that's a kid.
I think so.
I think so, too.
Maybe someone in the comments will answer it for us. A bicycle has 2 wheels. How many wheels does a tricycle have?
Oh, 14.
14. Yes, the
Yeah.
famous 14-wheeler. You're better at this than I am. I always think I'm being clever when I say the right answer. There was one time when I was doing this with Scott, I had an answer in my head already, so no matter what the question was, I was going to say this answer. And just I remember that my answer was orange. I don't remember what the question was, but the correct answer was orange. Out of all the things in the world. Yeah. All right. Last one here. Snickers, Baby Ruth, and Twix. What are they?
Oh, those are popsicles.
There you go. Answer wrong and win with Sharon. All right. So that we are ending the show a little early today, so we're going to go ahead and cut us off right here.
Okay.
I would like to remind everyone to stay tuned tonight. We have Music for the Mountain from 6 to 8 p.m. Then Dirt Road Blues with our very own Dirt Road Doug McQuain is from 8 to 10 p.m. Then from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., we have Planetary Radio, Sea Change Radio, Echo Shock, Total, and Earth Date.
Yeah.
Right here on KCHW. We don't have the morning show this week, Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be out traveling. I might, if I can get somebody from the Creative District maybe, or from the statewide Arts Bois, I might pop on and do a little thing in the morning, but I'm probably going to enjoy my trip and sleep in.
That's
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. And
Yeah.
learn a lot and socialize and do everything you need to do.
I will. I will. And don't forget, we're going to get those tickets up for sale. If you go to Craig McQuain Music, visit, I think they've tagged the radio station. I haven't got the tickets up, the link for the Elvis, Igor and the Red Elvis show up yet on our Facebook page, but I'm going to get that either hopefully while I'm driving, or maybe I can get that up real quick before we head out of here
I
today.
hope somebody else is behind the wheel if you're putting up something on.
Oh, I know, right?
Because you said while you're driving. I wanted
But
while
it would
you're
be
riding.
it would be while we take turns and it's my turn in the passenger seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah. So, all right, we'd like to thank you all for joining in. Have a great early weekend. We're going to do a long weekend here. You guys have a great one. Thank you for listening to KCHW 102.7. Thank you, Sharon, for coming in.
Yep, been good to be back.
Yeah, welcome back. You guys have a great one.
All right, bye.
We'll be back on Tuesday with Scott and Val.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Colville, Kettle Falls.
Where is the moment we need it the most? You kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. Tell me your blue skies fade to gray. Tell me